Hello all, and welcome to today's review, which I'm going to call Little Taste of Scotland. So, my mother returned from a long trip to Scotland about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and she brought back some stuff for me. One of them being this wool hat, which I am demonstrating right now because I want to show it off. Uh, But I'm not going to wear it throughout this entire review because it is Hawaii summer and the inside of my apartment is nearly 90 degrees right now. So, yeah. So, woolen cap, not exactly the best thing to wear in the heat of Hawaiian summer. So, I'm just showing it off here and then we're taking it off. Okay. So, what we are reviewing is the Scotch that she brought back to me. And this is Edradour, or I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. And I have never heard of this particular Scotch whiskey before. Uh, but apparently, from looking it up online, it is pretty highly rated. So it's a very small distillery. It doesn't have much output. Apparently, only about 600 liters a week or so, according to that. And it's like 5 people that work at the distillery. So it's not exactly a it's sort of a micro distillery kind of thing. But it's old, so it's not really new. Micro distillery kind of. I'm going off into the weeds, aren't I? Anyways, so this is the distillery edition because, of course, she was in Scotland, and I'm going to have to use my phone in order to read this. Okay, so this is a 10-year-old variation. So the main one, they put out several. Handmade in the Pocket Glen. Nestled in a pocket glen in the hills above Pitlochry in the Southern Highlands lies Edradour, Scotland's little gem. The neat cluster of buildings, houses, equipment, only just capable of producing commercial quantities indeed. Edradour Distillery makes as much whiskey in a year as many distilleries produce in a week, making Edradour single malt whiskey a rare pleasure for a fortunate few. This is a 40% ABV because apparently I think they cap it in the EU, so there's no 43%. From the reviews I looked at, the 43% one is definitely, people say it's slightly better. Not that 40% is bad, it's just 43% has a bit more dimensionality to it. Okay, and even smaller text in the back here. Oh my goodness, this is like 3 or 4 point text here. Using skills handed down over the generations, the men of Edradour Distillery follow the standards of those that have gone before. Only 3 in number, as there always have been, they continue to produce the finest malt whiskey available. A truly handcrafted malt, this expression is dark auburn in color and has a wonderful aroma of rich dried fruits, sugared almonds, orange marmalade, and plain chocolate. Testament to the finest Oloroso sherry casks used in its 10-year maturation. Such is our commitment to the quality at Edradour. We will only ever use our sherry casks for 2 maturation cycles. Okay. And yep, so the 3 distillers. And yeah, really looking forward to this one. By the way, this is going to be a very long review. Okay. Oh, it's nice. They even have a bottling date on this, so 9/07/2024. And I think the number 24/196 is probably a batch number. So, going to be putting this into our Glencairn glass. I already have my water ready. Really thought this one out, didn't I? So again, 40% ABV, aged 10 year in sherry casks. Some of the other reviews say they also do some maturation in used bourbon as well. But I didn't see anything about that on the bottle, so I don't know. There might be another release that does that. But I believe I was only looking at the 10-year ones. So, indeed, a dark auburn. I don't know. Yeah, it has auburn there, but it looks more amber to me. Definitely a darker colored Scotch. Product of the Eastern. Oh boy, this is definitely very, very big in its nose. Yeah, definitely dried cherries, golden raisins, a subtle nuttiness. Kind of a honeyed touch to it, or a sugared as they prefer to call it. Definitely fruity, but dried fruity. Hints of stone fruit. Mm, yeah, nicely, nicely almost perfume-like. Oh, shall we go onto the palate now? Ooh. It's been a while since I've had hard liquor, so yeah. Well, yeah, definitely some molasses and marmalade in that long finish. Touch of smokiness. I have to say, I'm going to confess, the weather is probably a little bit too warm to really get this right. It's a little bit over wide, if I am explaining myself right. I should have put this in like the refrigerator for like maybe about 5 to 10 minutes. Touch of smokiness on the palate. It goes up to the top note. Very separate from the sort of stewed fruit note. Stewed apricots, stewed stone fruit. Touches of black pepper and cinnamon up front. The black pepper is almost earthy in its robustness. gentle nuttiness on the palate in the mids. And again, kind of descends into like a sort of marmalade, molasses note. More marmalade than molasses in the long finish. With a top note that also lasts pretty long as well. Yeah, there's also some kind of a touch of vanilla there in that long finish. Definitely dominated by the sherry cask aging, which is fine. I love when, they age in sherry or Madeira casks. Maybe a touch of chocolate in the front to mids, but I'm finding more of that earthy pepper and stewed fruit note kind of dominates there. So, yeah. Boy, back when I used to review whiskeys a lot more, I could definitely go into it a lot further, but like I said, this is not really whiskey weather right now. Scotch whiskey weather. And I'm out of practice, so my palate is not as sharp as it used to be in that regard. But yes, this is what we're going to be pairing it with. The third product here. And this is some Scottish craft chocolate. It is a dark chocolate from the Chocolate Tree Company, which is flavored with haggis spice. Okay. So, let's go and read the back of this now. So, chocolate with spices, okay, and I'm going to kind of go over the chocolate part because you'll probably know all that already. So, but the addition stuff is gluten-free oats, spices including pepper, coriander, nutmeg, thyme, rosemary, and salt. Yeah. Store in a cool, dark place. Well, it was dark. I'm not too sure about the cool. Yeah, so doesn't appear to have too much verbiage here. Product of Scotland, as you can see. And we'll see how well this pairs with this particular Edradour Scotch whiskey. And then, as soon as I'm done sampling this, into the refrigerator it goes. I know you're not supposed to do that with fine dark chocolate, but have some pity on me. I live in Hawaii. Chocolate's kind of doomed here. Hey. Oh. That is incredibly savory smelling. That smells more of the spices than it does of the chocolate. It kind of reminds me of okay, now the chocolate's kind of showing up. Now I'm thinking it, but yeah, the spices remind me of like like a a roast pork or roast chicken. That rosemary and thyme really dominates there. Okay. Oopsie. Okay, onto the palate now. Oh my. I would have never thought chocolate would go well with like rosemary and thyme. See, what were the other ones too? Yeah, coriander and nutmeg. But really, the rosemary and thyme is what stands out there. It's so aromatic. Yet up front, you really get that. It's a dark chocolate, but it's still pretty sweet and also still pretty creamy too. I think there's a higher percentage. Let's see here, do they have the cocoa butter percentage on here? I think maybe like the EU definition for like dark chocolate is it gives a little bit more leeway for like cocoa butter and sugar. Okay, yeah, there's that salt there too. I think it's making that sweetness and chocolate pop. Then comes this like amazing rush, rosemary and thyme on the palate. This expands into the nose. Oh, this is really, really good. And again, using ingredients I would have never expected to see in chocolate. Now, will it combine? Will it pair well with this? We're gonna find out. And kind of running out of water here, so I have to be a little bit parsimonious on that. Now I know why they have it in like such tiny blocks. It is really, really intensely flavored. Okay. To be honest, these are two really good things that, when put together, become much lesser. Um, what ends up happening is that the delicate nuances of both kind of cancel each other out. So the sweetness and the creaminess of the chocolate are just sort of obliterated by the Scotch, and the Haggis spices um, just completely dominate the palate and the nose. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't say have this at the same time on the palate. And I'm actually going to go and see. Let's see here. How well is it after it clears? Yeah, I'm going to finish this chocolate, and then I'm going to finish the rest of the whiskey. Um, okay, let me go and. I should have thought of a better place to put this. I'll put it on top of the bottle. There we go. So, now my longest review. This one went fairly quickly. Like I said, I think this is like the first chocolate review I've ever done. And this is like the first Scotch review I've done in a very, very long time, well over a year. if um, if my accounting is correct. Well, not really. I did do those ones, you know, um, for Christmas and Thanksgiving, I believe. But yeah, Edradour and Haggis spice. So I know this is distributed in America because I've seen, reviews saying it is, and at like an export strength of 43% ABV and rather than 40% ABV. Uh, if you can find this, definitely get it. It's kind of expensive. I believe like the bottle, um, not like the small one, but like the regular sized bottle is about $80, which is pretty expensive for a Scotch of the basic 10-year offering. As for this, I think you have to go to Scotland to get it, but damn, is it worth it? It is, of course, chocolate tree, dark chocolate with haggis spice. So that is the review, folks, from the sunlight-filled room here. It's either got a lot of light or very little light. That's how it is, folks. And yeah, drink good whiskey, scotch, beer, water, eat good chocolate, enjoy good things. And that, folks, is your review for this Friday evening, because it's now 6 o'clock according to the clock here. Cheers.